The Keeper of the Flame. In His infinite wisdom, God states in the Koran, He gives wisdom to whom He wills, and whoever has been given wisdom has certainly been given much good, and none will remember except those of understanding. Quran, chapter 2, verse 269. This verse speaks of a divine spark, a thirst for truth placed in the hearts of a chosen few, and no life demonstrated its unquenchable fire more brilliantly than that of Salman Al-Farsi. His epic decades-long journey from a Persian nobleman to a desert slave, all in search of the final prophet, is the answer to the questions every seeker must ask. Thoughtful. How far can that thirst for truth drive a soul? Can a man born to the highest echelons of privilege abandon everything, wealth, family, and status, for the whisper of a promise? Our story begins not in the deserts of Arabia, but in the lush green city of Isfahan in Persia during the 6th century. Here, the dominant faith was Zoroastrianism, the worship of a sacred fire. In this world of nobility and ritual lived a young man named Ruzbeh, the beloved son of the powerful landowner and the chief priest of his village. Ruzbeh's life was one of gilded comfort. His father, who adored him, kept him close, grooming him for his sacred destiny, to be the next keeper of the temple fire, ensuring its flame never died. But in the long, quiet hours spent watching the flames, a question began to smolder in Ruzbeh's intelligent mind. Thoughtful, is God truly confined to this fire? Can the Creator of the universe be contained within a man-made temple? This spark of doubt was the beginning of his epic journey. One day, sent on an errand, he passed a Christian church. Drawn in by the sound of their heartfelt prayer, he was captivated. He spent the entire day with them, learning of a faith that spoke of a single, universal God. When he returned home, he was a changed man. He declared to his horrified father that the Christian faith was superior to their own. Fearing he would lose his son, his father placed him in chains. Emphatic. But you cannot chain a soul that yearns for truth. Ruzbeh escaped, breaking his chains to join a passing Christian caravan bound for Syria. He left behind his inheritance, his family, and his name, becoming Salman, the Seeker. The Dying Monk's Prophecy. In Syria, Salman devoted himself to a renowned bishop, learning the gospel and dedicating himself to prayer. But his path was to be a winding, painful one. When the righteous bishop lay dying, Salman asked him anxiously, "To whom do you entrust me now?" The bishop directed him onward, weakly. "My son, I know of no one who follows our path correctly except a man in Mosul. Go to him." And so began a journey that would span decades. From Mosul to Nisibis to the city of Amurria in the heart of the Byzantine Empire, Salman moved from one righteous scholar to the next. With each master, he deepened his knowledge, but he also witnessed the corruption that had crept into the faith. He served each teacher with unwavering devotion until they too passed away, each time directing him to another remnant of the true faith. His final stop was with a pious old monk in Amurria. When this last teacher also fell gravely ill, a wave of despair washed over Salman. Had his entire life of searching been for nothing? Despairing, "Oh, my master," he pleading, "to whom do you commend me now? What shall I do?" The old monk looked at him with a sad wisdom. Sadly, "My son," whispering, "I know of no one left who holds to the true faith upon which we stand." Salman's heart sank. But then the monk gave him one last, world-altering prophecy. However urgent, he continued, the time is now near for the emergence of a new prophet. He will be sent with the religion of Abraham. He will appear in the land of the Arabs, in a city of date palms situated between two volcanic tracts. Salman's soul ignited, excited. "And how will I know him?" he asked breathlessly. The dying monk imparted the three sacred signs, solemnly. First, he will not eat from charity given to him. Second, he will eat from a gift. And third, between his shoulder blades, he will bear the Seal of Prophethood. Now go, my son."
Armed with this legacy, Salman joined a caravan of Arab merchants, trading his few possessions for passage to the Promised Land. But in the cruelest turn of his heroic journey, the merchants betrayed him. They sold him into slavery. Salman, the Persian nobleman, the devout seeker of God, was now a slave, passed from one master to another, until he was bought by a man from the Jewish tribe of Banu Qurayza. This man took him to his new home, a city lush with date palms, nestled between two dark, lava-scarred hills. It was Yathrib, the city from the prophecy. Salman was in the right place at the wrong time, so close to his goal, yet a world away, trapped in bondage. The three signs and the weeping of a soul. For years, Salman toiled as a slave in the date groves of Yathrib, his spirit burning with a feverish hope. Every day he would climb the highest palm tree, his eyes scanning the horizon, praying for the arrival of the man from the prophecy. Then, one day, the news came. A man had arrived from Mecca, a prophet who had fled persecution. His name was Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. Salman's heart hammered against his ribs. He nearly fell from the tree. That evening, after a long day of labor, he took some dates he had saved and went to the place where the prophet was staying. The first test was at hand. He approached with a humble heart. "I have heard that you are a righteous man," Salman said. "This is something I have as charity." He placed the dates before the prophet. The prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, turned to his companions. "Eat," he said. But he himself did not touch a single one. Salman's soul soared. The first sign was fulfilled. A few days later he returned with more dates. "I saw that you did not eat from my last offering," he said. "This is a gift for you." This time the prophet smiled, took the dates, and ate from them with his companions. The second sign was fulfilled. Salman could barely breathe. 2 signs confirmed, only one remained, the most personal, the most difficult to see. Thoughtful. How could a slave ask a prophet to show him his back? He began to follow the prophet, hoping for a chance. One day, he accompanied him to a funeral. As the prophet sat down, his upper garment shifted slightly. Salman, in his desperation, began to circle behind him, trying to catch a glimpse. The prophet, with the wisdom given to him by God, understood what this desperate seeker was looking for. He sensed the decades of longing, the pain of a journey that was now just one step from its end. In a gesture of profound mercy, the prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, let his cloak slip from his shoulders. And there, exactly as the old monk had described, was the seal of prophethood, a mark like a raised mole between his shoulder blades. The sight shattered Salman. The journey was over. The search was complete. The truth was real. He fell upon the prophet's back, kissing the sacred seal and weeping uncontrollably. It was not the weeping of sadness, but the weeping of a soul that had finally come home after a lifetime of exile. The prophet gently turned to him. Gently, "What is your story, Salman?" he asked. And there, amidst the companions, the Persian slave recounted his epic journey from the fire temple of Isfahan, through the churches of Syria and Anatolia, through betrayal and slavery, all for this one single moment. The seeker finds his home. Emotional. Salman's story moved the prophet and his companions to tears. But he was still a slave. The prophet turned to his community. Urgent. "Help your brother gain his freedom," he urged. The price for Salman's manumission was astronomical. The planting of 300 date palms and a large quantity of gold. The prophet himself led the effort. He planted every single sapling with his own blessed hands, and by a miracle they all took root and flourished. The companions gathered the gold, and Salman's freedom was purchased. He was no longer Salman the Persian or Salman the Seeker. He was now a free man, a beloved companion of the final prophet.
His journey, however, was not just for his own salvation. It was a gift to the entire Muslim community. Years later, when Mecca's armies gathered to annihilate the Muslims in Medina, the community was faced with a desperate strategic problem. It was Salman, drawing on the military engineering knowledge of his Persian homeland, who offered a revolutionary idea. "O messenger of God," explaining, "in Persia, when we feared an attack, we would dig a trench around ourselves." This brilliant strategy, which led to the famous Battle of the Trench, saved the city and the faith. In that moment, the different groups of companions, the emigrants from Mecca and the helpers of Medina, both claimed him. "Salman is one of us," they would say. The prophet, seeing this, smiled and delivered the highest honor a man of foreign birth could ever receive. He pulled Salman close and declared, "Salman is one of us. He is from my family." The boy, who had run away from his father, had been adopted by the prophet of God. The legacy of Salman is a powerful testament to the universality of Islam. It teaches that faith is not bound by race, nationality, or lineage. It is a story of relentless perseverance, of the courage to question, and of the profound truth that whoever sincerely seeks God will, without a doubt, be led to him. Salman's journey proves that the path to truth may be long and fraught with hardship, but the reward at the end, the embrace of the beloved, is worth every single step.